Don't retire bored or broke. At the minimum, that's what all of us want. And yet we've watched too many other people go down that road before us. And some have retired where they've run out of money. They've been broke, or they just could not afford to do hardly anything. And then the other thing is we've watched people retire and just wander. They're bored, and it affects their health. It affects the way they relate to people. Well, in this next few minutes, I want to share how not to retire bored or broke. Instead, how to retire with both money and meaning. Having been a financial advisor for a number of years, worked in wealth management with Smith Barney and then on my own, I one time had a couple come to me that I inherited as a client, and they showed up with these two stock certificates. They wanted me to tell them how much those stock certificates were worth. Well, I looked it up and my heart sank. What I learned was they were absolutely worthless. And that was what they were depending on for the next phase of their life and their money. Well, clearly, you having a funded time of your 60s, 70s, 80s is very important. Work with a financial advisor. Don't take that lightly. But on the other side of it, I watched my own father retire in his early 70s. And in his 80s, I asked him, Dad, what would you do differently again if you did your life over? And he said, I never would have retired. I said, how come? He said, I was bored. I didn't have anything to do. I rather would have worked and done something. Instead, I just didn't know what to do every day. Well, it's become a passion of mine to help other people not have both of those extremes, both to have money and meaning. And so in this video, I want to share, starting with the idea of meaning, so you can do something that is money making and meaningful. Because I think the more people, especially in uncertain times with Social Security or AI coming our way, if you can have a way to do something that brings you a good income and brings value to other people, I think that's the best case scenario. But you've got to step back and plan and think about it now, whether you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or you're already retired, there's still time. So, first, meaning. You know, when you do something and you have meaning, when you sense either I was made for this or I know I'm making a difference. I've changed someone's life for the good. I've brought something into the world that made the world a better place. I can't help but think of the end of the movie Saving Private Ryan. I think of what happens when James Ryan, who's now an elderly man, goes to the Normandy cemetery. He sees the grave of Captain Miller, played by Tom Hanks. And he sees that grave and he is struck with emotion. And he says, every day I think about what you said to me that day on the bridge. I've tried to live my life the best I could. I hope that was enough. I hope that at least in your eyes, I've earned what all you have done for me. And then here's the part that really gets to my own heart. He turns to his wife and he says, tell me I've led a good life. Tell me I was a good man. Well, in a world that advertises that a retirement is really just an ongoing time of leisure, and you're really consumptive, meaning you're really just taking in, what I've seen is the people who are generative, which means they're giving and they're helping. Those are the people who can say, yes, I was a good man. Yes, I was a good woman. And so doing so, that doesn't mean that if you've got life and energy and you probably have wisdom to step back and say, how in this phase of my life can I bring money into my own pocketbook for myself, for my family, to give to others? And then how do I do so in a way that invests good in the world? In the Bible, in the book of Genesis, you have the story of Abraham, who is told by God, you are going to be blessed. And through you, the whole world is going to be blessed. The three parts of the blessing of Abraham is first, this is going to be good for you. Secondly, this is going to be good for your tribe. This is going to be good for your people, your family. But then third, this is going to be good for the world. So as you think about what you do, the proficiencies that you've got, the experience that you have, what can you do that's going to ignite you that isn't like something maybe you've done in the past that was draining or was in an office 9 to 5, but that is life-giving? When you do it, you come to life. And it could be that you're great working with your hands, you're great woodworking, or you've been giving wisdom, you've been a CEO, you've been an entrepreneur. And when you help other people, it fills you. But then it's going to fill your family because they're going to see you doing something that brings life. They're going to watch you, and they're going to even have money that comes from you earning it in this phase of life. Or you're going to do something that really brings a change and a good thing into the world. And it could be two little kids who you parent or you help. It doesn't need to be something grandiose. But I am inspired by the story of people like Colonel Harlan Sanders, who at 65 had this amazing chicken recipe. Well, 1,000 people rejected him. They said, "We don't need your chicken recipe." And yet he stuck with it. And because of it, started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, it may not be the healthiest thing for us today, but it certainly brought a lot of jobs and a lot of good to many people. Now, maybe you're a writer and this is your time to write. Laura Ingalls Wilder, it was at 65 that she wrote her first Little House on the Prairie book. The series sold tens of millions. Maybe your thing is politics. Nelson Mandela, who at 75, after 27 years of being in prison, said, "Now is my time to invest in my country." So think of how this season could be both money making and meaningful, and bring them together. I love helping people think about that because a lot of people are so busy in their everyday life in their 40s, 50s, 60s that they haven't stood back and said, how can this time be a winning season for me? Not a time of kind of being bored, watching television, driving my spouse nuts. Don't say I've never tried it. But as you find that, you are going to come alive. You are going to bring life to yourself and you're going to bring good to the world. Hey, if this is an interesting topic to you, definitely like this, follow me for more. But also, I put together a PDF on meaningful things you can do in retirement that are pretty much AI proof. And as you know, over the next few years, more and more things are going to be taken over by AI. So go to the description. You'll see a place to download it. Download that. And hey, if you're interested in this topic, get in touch because I believe that as more and more people start finding money and meaning, it's going to solve a lot of problems and bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. Let's be in touch. God bless you.